So I wanted to do a little touch up with the old Hi-Flier. When I originally masked this off, I didn't let the paint overlap very good, and some of the primer was still showing. And I wanted to correct that. Now, I almost like having that color like that because it almost matches the decals, which are white, gray, grayish silver, whatever. I almost wouldn't mind putting like a white or a gray, maybe like very, very thin stripes down there, but I'm not going to do that. That would be a unique look. Kind of just putting it all around the edge of the fins. So this right here is the worst side, and then this one's showing very barely. Now, I also thought, well, should I do black or red? Well, I'm thinking if I do red, it's going to probably mess up the edge even worse. So I'm thinking doing the black would probably keep it a little cleaner, even if it's sticking out on the body a little bit farther, but I think it'll just look better than how it looks now, than with that primer still showing through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally spray some of the black gloss basically into a puddle on a paper plate, and I'm going to just apply it on with a brush and see how that goes. So maybe I decided to try these cups out right here. I got some of these for epoxy mixing. Instead of using a paper plate, I'm just going to decant the can into here. Now, I don't know if this cup's going to blow off or not because it's kind of windy today, because you got to love the weather. It might blow. I'm trying to film this at the same time. I'm going to put quite a bit in here. And I don't know if it's going to melt the plastic or not. It shouldn't. Look, we're blowing over. I don't want it to blow back into me too. So let's see if I can kind of block the wind. Get just a puddle going on. Alright, meet you back in the house. Okay, let's do this while it's still wet. It'll be kind of fast. It's spray paint. So, I've got different brushes. I'm just going to literally just kind of let's see how this goes. This is an experiment for me. Just do a little bit of correction. I don't know if we got to do this in multiple layers or not. Maybe not. Might be alright. This isn't even the really bad side. Is it going to look horrible? I really don't know. So screw up all the edges that we tried so hard to make nice. Just to do a little bit of color correction that no one would notice anyways. But I want to try it. It's hard to film. I've done this years ago with different projects. To be honest, I couldn't tell you how it went. So it looks like I'm taking some of that shine off, brushing it up there. I just noticed that. I don't know if you can see where my strokes are right there. Okay, so let's move on to the other side. Start working on the little thicker, more problem areas. Almost thought about using a paint pen. think Testers makes like literally like paint markers, paint pens, whatever you want to call them, and they make them enamel. And this is enamel, so I would assume that they would not collide. They'd work together, especially if they're gloss. I've seen a deal on eBay, I think, for like the whole set for like 80 bucks or so, something like that. I literally ran back into the house to film this, so I don't want it to dry up on me. Now I can go back probably to here. Now the edge of the aft end is definitely not looking that great. So I'm going to try and do a little something about that. Okay. Now, the worst part, the worst one, which is definitely this edge right here. And I'll say that the paint doesn't seem to be melting that plastic, so that's a good thing for future reference. I wonder if I could just grab it and just kind of lay my hand on it like this. Maybe I can be a little more stable, not so shaky. Just kind of go this way and I kind of overlap as I'm going. Now, I'm not expecting it to be super glossy or anything like that. I mean, at this point, we already know that this isn't a grade A paint job, even though it's not bad. But yeah, from now on, whenever I mask off fins, I have to let the paint overlap just a little bit because, you know, as you can see, it's kind of hard to keep the edges down to, I don't know, let's say that's a little bit of a millimeter, maybe about a millimeter of primer showing on this side right here. I don't know. Okay. You know, I'm not going to layer it either, so I just wanted to try to fix it as best I can without having to like fully redo it or anything like that. And I'm just looking in the reflection to see if I see anything showing that I might have missed. And really, at this point, if it's showing, I'm keeping it. I'm owning it. But I did want to fix the more major mistakes, and they're looking okay. So that's why I've held off and put on the decals. I'm ready to put the decals on, and I just wanted to go ahead and touch this up first before I do that. I think that's it. I think that's what I'm gonna do. All right. It's about 20 or so minutes have passed. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the reveal. I'm just gonna peel it like we usually do. You know, I tried to correct the edges a little bit too. Yeah, they're not gonna be 100% perfect. This one I think came out the best anyways. And you know, nothing was really wrong with these here. So I'm gonna just take it, peel it, see what we got. So I got a little bit of bleed right there, really. Oh, got some more bleed. I guess I didn't have it down all the way. I deserve it. It's alright. It's alright, we know. Yeah, I didn't tack it down good enough. Should have took my time a little bit more tacking it down. I was kind of trying to do this fast. So I'm kind of ready to put the decals on. This one came out pretty good. That's how it's supposed to look right there. For sure. This one came out pretty good. I mean, yeah, you got a little bit here, but whatever. Also, you always got to remember, is it a 10 foot, 15 foot, 30 foot, 100 foot away from the launch pad paint job? Yeah, it might not look all that great up close and personal like I got you right now. Is it going to look great hanging in a tree? I don't know. But I'm sure it would. I'm sure it would look amazing hanging from a tree, and I think that came out pretty darn good. Good, and that was the worst one too, so I'm satisfied. Yeah, I got a little bit of bleed through, and I put some of those scuff marks on the fin, but messed up the shine a little bit. Didn't really get those ones too bad, and these were the ones that were worse. So live and learn. Make sure you tack it down good enough. I wiped them down with a paper towel, with a damp paper towel first, make sure there wasn't no dust there, anything like that, prior to actually putting the tape on. But yeah, I just must have missed that. It's all good. I'm not no more correction. This is it. This is what it's gonna be. Decal time.